Welcome to your daily focus for December the 27th, 2022. Today we have Venus and Saturn in harmony up in the sky, bringing in some beautiful energy to grow our relationships, grow our partnerships, grow our friendships. Let's start at the beginning. I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. And thank you. Thank you truly for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. I send it right back to you. You guys rock. We have the 27 energy today. The 27 energy is about things blooming, things growing, things coming into play. This could be the first day of the rest of your life when it comes to growing your finances, growing your love, growing a new business opportunity, growing partnerships. If we look at the numerology of the day, 3 plus 9 plus 6 is an 18. And that's our heart center. That's knowing our inner balance. That is understanding what truly makes us happy, where we feel freedom, where we feel liberation, how we bring that into being in our lives. 1 plus 8 is a 9, so it's about endings, conclusions, but it's more than that. It's almost like we're clearing the space for those new beginnings, and we are in new moon energy right now. So the 9 is very profitable for us for getting rid of some things in our lives that no longer have value, meaning, and making space for those new beginnings, those new starts that we are trying to invite into our life. Sun is in Capricorn. Moon is in Pisces, I think, by the time most of us get up today. So the moon being in Pisces, I mean, embrace your creativity, embrace spirituality, try and grow through it. This is a beautiful time to attract that energy, to grow our creativity, to grow our spirituality. Venus and Saturn are getting along up in the sky, and this is going to encourage some long-term commitments, some loyalty. Romance and affection are kind of by the wayside today. We want that stability. We want that security. And we are willing to sacrifice those short-term great things, the gratification coming into our life, for some long-term goodness that can stay in our life. So open your hearts to people. We see the beauty in people. We see the best. We look for the best in our relationships and things that we do that we love too. Okay, it's not just I know Venus is about love, but Venus is also about money. So maybe it's growing a better relationship with money. Giving up those little things that we buy for ourselves day in and day out that we can go without for a short time to build up that nest egg for something important that we want to gain in our lives, afford in our lives, bring into our lives. And usually with this kind of energy, we want to slow it down a little bit. We want to wind down. We want to tap into our intuition. Let's get to the cards. So our shadow card today is the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands has been showing up more and more, hasn't it? The Six of Wands is, this is the success card. So isn't it funny that it shows up on the 27 energy day? That the things that we are going towards can be very successful. This is not a time to rest on our laurels. This is a time to push forward. But also, we need to remind ourselves of the greatness that we've already done in our lives, the successes that we've already had in our lives. And that will motivate us in a way to keep going, to push forward, to challenge ourselves, to go after the next challenge. Okay, our first card is the Seven of Pentacles. So where's your focus? Is it on your dreams? Is it on your tomorrow? Is it on your goals? Is it where you want it to be? Or is it getting caught up in other people's dramas? Somebody else's agendas? Okay, so rein it back in to those seeds that you're trying to plant right now. Because we want a bumper crop, don't we? So, and it's about keeping our focus there, making a commitment to ourselves to grow our commitment to ourselves. Whether it's losing weight or changing our habits or behaviors, deepening a relationship, going after a job, starting a new business, whatever it may be, it's about making that commitment and continuing that commitment day in and day out, regardless of what else happens in our life. We always etch out the time for the seeds that we've planted. Okay, if you put a seed in the ground, you can't come back in 3 months and hope for something great to be there. Chances are the bugs got it, or maybe it didn't get enough rain or enough sun, or maybe there's weeds growing all around it, or there's rocks, we didn't do the soil properly, whatever it may be. But by being there every day for just a couple of minutes can enhance that seed and growing and maturing into our success or better than what we had imagined. We have the Ten of Swords next. Ten of Swords. Now the 10 is that's the final, okay? And 10 represents those new beginnings, those new seasons changing in our life. So don't get so wound up when this card comes out, because this is actually a very good card. This card tells us that we have been over some of the biggest challenges that we had to meet in order to be in the here and now. And we may feel a little beat up, but we are starting to push ourselves up. And we're going to stand up and we're going to dust ourselves off. We may not feel it right now, but if we look above, the sun is actually starting to break through those clouds, telling us a new day is dawning, that we can go forward with the strength. And all those swords, they're not in us, they're behind us. They are our lessons. They are our strengths. Those are the paths that we have walked in order to get to the here and now. So the sun is coming out, the darkness is fading away. We're starting to brush ourselves off. We're starting to push ourselves up. We're starting to believe in ourselves again, believe in our dreams again. And going towards them with a strength, with an energy. And then we have the Ace of Swords, that aha moment, that epiphany, that miracle happens seemingly out of nowhere and puts you on the right path. The Ace of Swords, it gives us clarity, maybe a confidence, a belief that we can do it. So you might hear something today. You might see something today. Somebody may say something to you today. You may go in search of something today. And all of a sudden you have this aha moment, this epiphany. Those words reminded you or triggered something else. It opened you up to the new beginnings that can be in your life. The new starts that you can create. Let's get a mantra card. I'm still not, I tell you, going 52 hours without heat or a decent meal or, we were kind of, shutting down. We were in survival mode. I mean, we sat there with our coats on and our hats and our mittens and our scarves and blanket after layer after layer. And, the cold really slows you down. And, you woke up the next morning and the lights still weren't on and you're like, okay, I can do this. But as the evening came, it kind of got, a little bit more depressive than knowing that chances of the power coming on now were little to nothing. And then waking up the next morning and at first it's okay. Oh, the power went out. And, you start doing things and it's still a little warm in the house, but it was like minus 20 for the most part and high winds and snow blowing. So it wasn't the nicest. And so I think you kind of fill yourself with some kind of adrenaline that you got to stay safe and you got to stay warm and you got to, you got to make it through. And it takes a little bit, I think, to let that all go as well. So I'm not 100% here yet on feeling good and isn't that interesting? Okay, what do we have? Gratitude. Be grateful for all you have. I was going to go into a gratitude spiel too, and I didn't. Oh my goodness. Gratitude. Be grateful for all you have. If we look around us, we do have things to be grateful for in our lives. Sometimes, especially when you're sitting in the dark and the cold, bundled up like crazy, you forget very easily how much you do have to be grateful for. Like, I had a roof over my head, I had walls around me, and mind you, they were so ice cold, but they were there and they were protecting me from those harsh winds, from the snow actually hitting me, from, it helped me to survive all the things, those extra cans of whatever it was, that we were eating, if it was tuna or beans or whatever it was when they were cold. But we actually took everything out of our fridge and freezer and put them on the counters in the kitchen, because of course without the electricity, the fridge was getting warm and the freezer was getting warm, but it was more than cold enough. Like, we saw our breath the whole time. So, so all the food came out. So none of my food perished because it was cold enough to keep everything frozen in my house until the power went back on and we could reload everything. Oh my goodness. So be grateful for all you have, the people in your life, and the things that you have, your talents, your ability, your magic, your intuition. The people in your life that you love, cherish, they support you, they raise you up, they have a belief in you. Those, your environments that you're in, maybe it's your community, maybe it's your home, maybe it's your family, maybe it's your job, maybe it's your career. Maybe it's the little things in life, like a flower growing out of the sidewalk and being grateful because it put a smile on your face. Gratitude. Be grateful for all you have. Gratitude helps you live in peace, love, and joy. Being grateful for the abundance you have received is the best insurance that more good things will continue to come. Grateful people are happier, less stressed, and are more satisfied with their lives. Learn to create abundance in all areas of your life. First, you have to ask what it is that you would like to receive or change in your life. Believe it is possible, then let it happen. Be ready to receive. Give thanks to God, the angels, the universe. Gratitude is a powerful process for shifting your energy and bringing more of what you want into your life. The mantra is, I am grateful for life's gifts of peace, love, and joy. And we'll get an animal here. It was so cold in here, even the dogs needed 2 blankets. They were shivering, and I put the blankets over them, and they didn't move. They didn't move for hours once those blankets were on them. They were so they were grateful for those blankets. I know they were. They didn't argue when I, told them they had to stay in bed for the day with me. 2 days, a little bit more than 2 days. But getting them to go outside was a whole other story. Oh my gosh, I pretty well had to do it at gunpoint. There was just, they did not want to go out there, and they weren't going to do that in the house, so they had to. We have the cougar, assertive. The cougar shows up assertive. Come on. Okay, I'd like to keep that on there so that you can meditate on the picture while I read it, but I can't read it. So, in silence you find power. That's true. Claim your leadership role and take action. And remember, you may feel that you're a follower, but you need to be a leader of yourself. Maybe that's, being the parent of yourself, disciplining yourself, telling yourself that you're not allowed to go out and play until you finish this, and then stick to it. Know where to go and what to do. You have the courage and confidence to succeed. And that was really with the Ace of Swords coming out there, knowing that you have the confidence, knowing that you have the courage to succeed. And maybe we need to embrace it a little bit more and bring it out into the front and center so that we can utilize it better during this new moon energy to move ourselves forward in the way we want. But in silence, you find power. So, once again, it's a little bit of pulling back a little bit, tapping into our intuition, winding down a little bit, decompressing perhaps a little bit. In silence, you will find power, claim your leadership role, and take action. So, are you going to lead other people? Are you going to lead yourself? Claim your role and then take action. Start the journey. Take a leap of faith. Take a risk on yourself. So it is beautiful energy today. Remember, we don't want to rest on our laurels today. We do need to allow healing in with the Ten of Swords coming up, but also to know that we have been through some large challenges in our life in order to be in the here and now, in order to be able to go forward in exactly the way we want. And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.